frankly, well, perhaps you're gay. Is there a point to all these fancy clothes? With all these buckles from your head down to your toes? It's very simple, but I'm just another girl. It's not so easy, but I'm giving it a whirl. Is there something that you're trying to prove? With all the makeup and the way you move, are you looking for some sympathy? No, I'm trying to be the best girl I can be. It's very simple, but I'm just another girl. It's not so easy, but I'm giving it a whirl. Like my martinis dry, cosmos I won't deny. Smoke those long cigarettes. Thank God I'm not dead yet. Done all these crazy things, short of a wedding ring. Just another girl.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Kallista and this is nlcTrans. I'm here with my good friend and co-host, Tara Alexander. Tonight, we were supposed to have this really cool guest, Brett Bernardini, who is director and co-founder, if I'm not mistaken, of the Spirit of Broadway Theater. And I think that he forgot, because he is not here. So we're going to have to embarrass the hell out of him. But the Spirit of Broadway Theater is a really, really cool thing, and we certainly are going to be patrons of this place and probably do some kind of fundraisers and things there. And very, very cool. They're doing, I think right now, what is it, Buddy's Tavern?
Buddy's Tavern, yep. It was reviewed in Metroline. They had a very good review there. The buzz is that it's high quality, high caliber, like most of the stuff they do there, and we'll probably end up off Broadway, so we should go see it now for $30,
right?
While it's local.
While it's cheap, yeah. Very cool place. We went to a little sort of a cocktail party there a while back, with the New London People's Forum, and in fact, speaking of the New London People's Forum, Constance has promised to be on the show in June, so we will be seeing. Hopefully, Constance on here soon. Constance is a member of the New London People's Forum. But we went there for this cocktail party, which was really fun, and that's where we met Brett, who is a really cool guy. And what a cool place. It's an old restored firehouse. And
partially restored.
Yeah, and they do...
First floor out of 3. There's one of the things he's doing is the ongoing restoration of the firehouse. They're looking to turn the second and third floors into usable space for their own offices, which they don't have right now, and also for community space. So he's really looking to make this this building, this place, the Spirit of Broadway, a centerpiece of the local community.
Yeah, it's a neat place.
It's a beautiful firehouse.
Downtown Norwich, and it's a neat little theater, and we were fortunate enough to be able to go crawl around the place. And,
yes.
Quite interesting. But anyway, hopefully we will have Brett on a future show, because we're going to have to now embarrass the hell out of him for standing us up. And I'm quite sure he's a very nice guy, and I'm sure he just forgot that he was supposed to be with us tonight. But we will get him on sometime hopefully in the not too far distant future. So what's going on in the news? I know we had a problem with Proposition 8. What is the deal with that?
Proposition 8, the California Supreme Court upheld Proposition 8. To be fair about it, their ruling was not one of determining whether or not gay marriage should be allowed. It was a question of whether or not the arguments that were made to the California Supreme Court were strong enough to have them overturn a referendum vote. And in their opinion, the arguments were not strong enough to overturn the referendum vote. However, in an odd little twist, and I think while they've taken a lot of heat for upholding Prop 8, I think this is sort of indicative of where their minds and hearts are. They are allowing the 1,800 or so people that were married while it was legal in California to remain legally married in California. They're not
Oh.
nullifying the existing same-sex marriages.
Well, that's interesting.
Um,
That sounds like sort of a way to challenge this. But I mean, good for those people that got married, and I guess the lesson here is hurry up if you're going to do it, right? But
Well, and that's actually exactly what's happened. Is there's already obviously there are already court filings questioning equal protection under the law. California does have, I forget whether they call it civil unions or what they call it in California, but they do have a domestic partnership style program that grants all of the same rights, as I understand it, to same-sex couples. So the equal protection under the law, the argument from the pro Prop 8 side is that they do have equal protection under the law. The only thing they don't have is they're not allowed to use the word marriage. And of course, the anti-Prop 8 folks, the marriage equality folks, are saying separate but equal is never equal.
right.
And of course, I fall into that category pretty firmly. And ironically, Governor Schwarzenegger, whether his personal view supports it or not, on The Tonight Show, actually did come out and say that as the governor, the state will obviously uphold the law. They will, obviously they follow the ruling of the Supreme Court. However, he said it's just a matter of time before same-sex marriage is legal again in California.
Yeah.
There have also been federal filings on it. I haven't looked at them to see exactly what they are, but exactly that same point that, it seems to be, since the state Supreme Court allowed these people to remain married in California, that it now becomes a question of a federal matter whether or not the state is operating under their own rules properly.
Right. It's interesting. Speaking about this, whether or not it's equal. Okay. This civil union thing, is it equal? Well, if we accept that it is, then what's the problem? Why do we have to have Proposition 8? Why did we have to do that if it was equal? I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me. So obviously it's not equal, is it? It's not equal in anybody's mind.
It's funny here in Connecticut, where we've dealt with Sheff versus O'Neill now for a decade or more, for a long time.
Long time.
And it's still ongoing. It's pretty clear to most of the folks in Connecticut who follow it that clearly our state doesn't believe that separate but equal is in fact equal.
Right.
Strictly under the law, it's in California. It's and again, this is as far as I can tell, as far as I've heard and read. Any right that's given to a married couple can also be given to a same-sex couple, just not the term marriage.
Right.
And if that wasn't such a big deal in our culture, our society, marriage is has a huge connotation to it. It's a huge level of commitment that a civil union and a domestic partnership just doesn't carry with it.
That's right. Well, I mean, let's look at this. We could say that going through the back door is just as good as going through the front door, isn't it?
You still get into the restaurant.
They're both doors and you still get in, but...
We serve you the same food even if we make you sit in separate dining rooms.
That's right, but we don't do that anymore, do we?